What is up, everybody? Welcome back, and we'd like to introduce you to the brand new video of the Rane DJ Rane 4. Now, in case you're wondering if this is the video to watch, we had InMusicBrand's very own Jake Hill live demoing this unit, as well as Beatsource's Mojaxx and Cleveland Terry. The best part about this video is we got to dive into many of the new features. One of the first units that takes full advantage of the revolutionary Serato Stems 3.0. And this specific unit is currently the only DJ controller that takes full advantage by separating the vocal and instrument stems with just a press of a button, and dedicated faders for either vocals or instruments. If you guys aren't familiar with us, my name is Kova. I run a weekly show called Tweak Music Tips, and it's on Twitch, where we broadcast live and we interview all kinds of music professionals from all over the world. We've interviewed people like Little John, Too Short, A-trak, Jazzy Jeff, Fat Man Scoop, Robin S., CC Peniston, Crystal Waters, Lady Gaga's producer, White Shadow. And in addition to that, we bring on all kinds of manufacturers like Pioneer, Denon, Rode, Newmark, Hercules, Mackie. And the second they come out with a product, they come on our show live, and you guys get to ask them questions in real time on the spot. Well, enough of the chit chat. Let's jump into the video. So Jake, give us a little rundown on the new unit that you guys released, this Rane 4.
Yeah, let's go. I'll go top down. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so first, I think I'm just going to get into the stems features because that's really like the flagship feature of the unit. And then we'll get into some effects and things like that.
It's a bit more straightforward. When you hit that stem split, it will always put the acapella on the central deck and the instrumental on the outside. So you always know where you are. There is no like having to guess, oh, has it gone to this channel? Has it gone to that channel? It always goes to the same place. And so actually, although it might look, when you see someone using it, it might look quite complex, it's actually, because it's exactly the same every time, it's not as confusing as it seems. I hope that kind of makes... Cleveland, would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, yeah, when I went and played with it, it took me, all of a minute to go, okay, this actually makes sense. Once I understood the acapella is always on this channel and the instrumental is always on this channel, then it was fine. Yeah, that was good.
That's the wise move that they've made, I think.
Yeah, I didn't actually know about the shift in hitting the acapella or instrumental button, and it does the effects. That's very cool.
Yeah, but no, it's that simplicity that really it just makes it work for me completely. It's very straightforward. The only time you might get a little bit lost is when you start separating those two out from each other, but that's a deliberate choice that you make. So if you then do start scratching the vocal and stuff, then you have to just be on point and be thinking about it. But beyond that, to actually use it in the first place now, very simple.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's, kind of what I was referring to is when you are getting a step further and then grabbing, what I wanted to get to the point of, it gives you the option of getting as complicated with it as you feel comfortable with, because it is super straightforward on splitting the stems. It even has little icons, this little microphone, this little keyboard, and it corresponds down here. So you kind of always know your vocal is going to be on this, these two middle channels. And then when you jump over and grab a deck control, it does highlight with that. And it does give you the additional features. You can't see it on this, but I have there's assignment switches for the crossfader, left, right, or through. So when I'm grabbing that vocal to scratch, I quickly switch this fader over to off, and then I quickly grab this one, and then that's my scratch track, and I leave it on that side. And then to get them back, I have to do a quick little jump and then hit that again, and it lines it back up. So basically, it's like instant doubles on steroids. So anytime you have a track on, you hit that stem split, it instant doubles, but at the same time, it applies the stems as you instant double, and it locks them together in terms of if you're jumping around with a cue point when you're in stem split mode, both tracks are jumping around in time, or if there's a loop, same thing. So they're locked together, and the only way you disengage to adjust a track, if you're in a scratch or backspin or whatever, you'd have to grab it with hitting the assignment button. But any effect, you just assign that with the assignment button here. So you can have them stem split, and then you can, just assign it to the vocal, echo it out, whatever you need to do, or to the beat. And they're still locked together.
So Jake, can we address the elephant in the room? I see it starting to pop up in the comments. Why was the decision made for Rane specifically to make a non-moving platter Rane 4?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly why. So Rane if you take it back to the beginning of Rane, you remember like Rane was like the best audio equipment you could get for a club, like the MP 2016, that was a club mixing mixer. So first and foremost, Rane is known for build quality and sound quality. So we're not known necessarily for moving platters, even though that's, very hip hop DJ to its core. So we wanted to branch out a bit because we know, and this, especially now, that there probably are more static platter using DJs than motorized platter DJs. And the caveat is here, we didn't say, okay, no more moving platters ever, guys. This is the future. That was never the case. So this is just a product, high level Serato controller with static platters. It's just giving another option to a Rane audience, and probably pulling in some new Rane folks as well, who maybe don't really want a motorized platter. Maybe they started on CDJs or something like that, static platter. And so it's an easier transition. That being said, obviously we still have the Rane 1. So that's a great moving platter solution. And then we're always working on new things. So it's safe to say that this will not be the last Rane controller you'll ever see. And one other thing that I think, people know InMusic and they know our brands, but if you look at the Din & DJ line, like here, let me switch back here. Like behind me, so we've got an SC Live 4, which, back to that previous comment, that's a good $12.99 Serato controller for that user. But Din & DJs, we're focusing on high quality standalone. So if you think about it, we have Engine DJ, and Din & DJ is very much high quality standalone. So we don't really have a vehicle that we're using for a high quality static Serato controller that's not a standalone. So enter the Rane 4. It's kind of a crossover from Din & DJ, but combining with the build quality and sound quality of Rane. And the last thing I'll say on that, if you can DJ and you can cut and you can scratch, whatever scratch you can do on a motorized platter, you can do on the Rane 4.
Yeah, agreed. So, and I do appreciate the mic of being on the top deck. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I can't stand the mics on the front.
Yep, we do have one there too. So we have
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This one question has been popping up all over the place from Marco Mixon Vasquez. Asks, will there be a stem focused 4-channel mixer to go with my 12s?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like right here it is. See, like there it is. There's the mixer, and then just put your 12 right here or 12 over there. It's just a little wide. You might need a pretty big coffin case, but it does work.
You were ready. So why don't you showcase that? Because I think that's the elephant in the room that's been answered. So let's try it out.
Yeah. So I didn't put I have the 12s over here. I didn't hook them up, but if I would, it would be like this massive mothership setup. But it would work when you plug in the 12s to this. It just takes over the outside decks, so it would go in order. If you wanted to do a 3-piece modular setup. But I brought out the vinyl because I wanted to talk about the internal effects, and then people need to realize they're not Serato effects. There are effects. They're in the hardware. It's like a little computer built in. So a lot of these cool effects, like the scale downs and the recyclers and things like that, it's internally processed. So let me, I'm gonna switch over to line. So on the back, we have 2 inputs, switchable line phono with the grounding post. So we have our echo. I like recycler a lot. And then of course scale down. So that's processing, like that's an analog audio that's processing. And then what I also like is there is a, so to change the effect on the Rane 4, there's 22 hardware effects, main effects we call them. So you just hold down the pad, the button, and then you just turn the knob. So we have a scale down, but we also have this pitch down. It just goes through more steps. And then, this brings up a good point. So I'm set to 100 BPM on the effects, but I think this is at 103. So I can either tap it in for a record, or if you hold shift and use the encoder, you can dial up the BPM. So I'm going to go 103. I think that's what it is. So that's it. All right, so let me just go through a couple more effects. Riser. Matrix. Kind of a glitchy, I would say like an echo out type effect. And the cool thing too is I won't get into all the details on the stream, but a lot of these settings are adjustable inside the menu. So like, for example, this riser effect, I go through the links. There's like 7 or 9 different links of that riser. And same thing with Matrix. There's 9 different links on the Matrix. Echo out's another one. Or one of the settings that the encoder knob will set the high pass filter. So you can dial it in how you like it. You can set the different beat divisions, like if I do one beat. At 100% on the wet dry, it's a looper. Adding the filter. So yeah, and then a couple other ones I will mention, like, so scale down. We have a video coming up on this one. It'll be on the Instagrams. But that is you have the scales on the scale down, like the as far as minor, major, penta, or whole. So you can dial in. That's a penta scale. But you can also go up to 3 beat as far as the beat division. You can get down to like 1/32. It's crazy. So, all that to say, there are a ton of effects on the Rane 4. And another one that I'm just going to do, and then we'll talk some more, is Stutter Out. I think Stutter Out is killer. Let me just pop this one on. And this one has different links. So I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 triplet, so I got different links, and then I have triplet notes and things like that. And then I could set the bars as far as like 1 bar, 2 bar, 3 bars, 4 bars. I'll just show you something. So it just goes through different, stuttered patterns. And the nice thing too is once you find the one that is like the one you want to use, you can just hold down. Let's see, where did I add that one? So you can just hold down the pad, and then it'll save. And so when you reboot it up again, since it is basically a little computer in there, it'll save your effects presets or your preferences, and then next time you boot up, they'll be where they are. And this one goes out to Nick Spinelli. If I need reverb, I'm just going to set it right there. And there. Now I know riser's reverb. It's that simple. But yeah, that's kind of the effects. Another quick little tip, I do like to use the hold echo as a live looper. That's on here. I don't need to do that. But I mean, there is a beat breaker from the 72 Mark II and Mark I, and a duck echo, which when I'm stem splitting, I really enjoy just leaving duck echo on, because when I'm dropping the acapella or something like that, I just let it do its duck echo. So then if you're playing 2 tracks, you're stem splitting them both, and say you're bringing in the acapella over the other beat, and switching the acapellas in and out. If you leave duck echo on and assign it to both decks and put the pads on, then it'll echo out every time you drop the fader. Yeah. So I don't know. That's it. A quick overview of effects. I do want to show you, we do have Serato effects. I'd have to put a Serato track on. So we do have the filter section here. This is a first for Serato. These are Serato effects. We call them channel effects. So we have filter in its default state, filter roll, and then we have noise, which I find super handy if you're having to do some sort of tempo adjustment, like you brought in a track and like you had to pitch it down to mix it in, and you're kind of like bringing the speed back up. You can do that with the noise, or if you want it in between your transitions. And then the last channel effect is the flanger. So those are independent, individual per channel. There's 4 options. And like I said, 22 main effects, which are the hardware effects, all customizable with different beat divisions. And then in addition, there are the Serato effects you can access just by pressing that little hardware software selector switch.
Question. So they keep asking about this. So if they were going to use this with Serato, they could use the control vinyl, right? With the Serato
totally.
control vinyl, and it would just go to the specific channel, correct?
Yeah,
Could you explain it? Well, he's going to set it up for you guys. See, this is what I'm talking.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
There you go. It works.
Yeah, but they're trying to see if somebody will make a dedicated mixer that will have stems built into the mixer and will offload, because there were some questions like, well, I have an older computer, how are stems going to work with me? And the answer is you're still using the same Serato 3.0 software. So if you have a slow computer, you're going to this isn't going to change anything. There's no offloading onto the hardware.
Yeah, I mean,
itself.
You could put it into a mixer, but that mixer is going to cost about $6,500.
Yep.
So at that point, you might as well just buy a new laptop, eh? That technology is not lightweight. It is not lightweight. Don't get it like the virtual DJ stems, the new ones. You need a M1 or you need a dedicated GPU to even use
mainframe.
Yeah, real-time stems is very, very demanding on a computer. So yeah, sorry, no. If you want to do stems, it's going to be a long way off before it goes. People asking, is it going to come to Engine OS? It's like, no. It might do in about 5 years' time, maybe, but right now, no, definitely, it just can't, because this is some hardcore computering going on with this stem stuff. It's real heavy, and so yeah, we're not there. We won't be there for a long time to come.
DJ Yamix asks, reverb in the scroll menu.
Yep, and like I said, you can just add it and you can save it to your pad there, your button. So yeah, reverb, and then the affections, we have the high frequency cut, and then you also have large, small, or large or small as far as the reverb, like room size. So you have some options there.